vote to find this one on the board.
Turn your microphone on.
Okay?
I can't hear you right
I'm the oldest and I'm the quietest. But I have a little concern here. I would like legal to give me an opinion on an email that I received. And then I'll read you the email, and I'd like an answer, John. It's from Aaron. I asked Joanne Carr to remind me who voted to put on the agenda and prosecute me for criminal action. Joanne and at least 3 board members told me that you voted to put this on the agenda. Before I call my constituents and notify, can you offer me an explanation why you did this? Then it says, Denise, Darcy, GJ, and Kathy all voted no. Thanks. And I thought, you know, isn't this a democracy? Can't I vote the way I want? So I would just like to know, did any of these, I wasn't the only one that voted. I want to know, there was 8 people there that night. How many of you other people got one of those emails? I'd really like to know the reason why I got one.
Are you asking me?
Yes, I really want to know.
Okay, the reason is because I did ask several other board members that I knew that I was confident that voted against it, and I couldn't remember where the votes went. So I asked people, and they said, and I'm thinking, that doesn't sound right, because I thought that you voted against it. So then I asked Joanne, and Joanne confirmed that you voted to put it on the agenda. That's correct. So.
Why didn't they get it? Why did the rest?
Because I remembered how they voted. I didn't remember how you voted. I was actually, to be honest, I was surprised you voted that way. So.
I thought I was kind of get to sing the vote for it.
I was asking you how you voted.
But I thought, you know, it didn't matter. I could vote the way I wanted.
You can vote however you want. Absolutely.
I just didn't like the thing that here before I call my constituents and unify. Can you honor me? What were you going to do with the constituents and unify?
Your constituents asked me and my constituents how you voted, and I didn't remember. So I started making my calls to other board members. Remember, she brought this issue to the table, and I'm just answering it. So the ones that I remembered how they voted, I called them and asked them, how did the vote go? I thought that you voted against it, but you didn't. You voted for it. So then, the reason I was asking you is because now I'm going to call the people who asked me. Dolores Lebeck asked me how you voted. And I said, I don't remember.
She watches live stream.
Right. Well, she didn't. She didn't. That's why she called me and asked me.
Why didn't she ask me? She didn't.
I don't know. I don't know. I represent her just like you do.
How would you know it was going to be on the agenda that time?
This was after the fact. People asked who voted for it. And she asked me how did Joni vote, and I told her, I don't know, so I had to go find out.
All I want to know is, John, I felt really like I got singled out.
Are you asking me if something illegal happened, or are you calling for an investigation, or?
I never had anything like this happen to me before, like again.
Can you clarify your questions, ma'am?
Like I'm kind of, yeah,
What is your question for John?
like I'm intimidated. Like,
Bully.
both. Okay, use the word.
There's the word. Bully. Yeah.
That's why we're passing resolution.
By definition, containing the resolution is not bullying because it's not repeated behavior, which is one of the elements. In a more popular parlance, I understand that you read it adult bullying. I'm listening here. I wasn't here last week. I wasn't here last week. I understand there's some difference of opinion as to the characterization of the motion and what was asked for. I can't address that, I wasn't here. But I can say is, yes, you certainly have the right to vote your conscience. You not only have that right, you have that duty as an elected member of the board, your constituents expect you to vote your conscience and to represent them, even if it's you against everybody else, or even if everybody else is on your side. That's your job, that's your duty. The chairperson has the right to threaten political consequences if people don't vote the way he feels they should. And it certainly is possible to read that, so I'm listening here. When I first heard the email, it did sound like Aaron was threatening to take political action. As Aaron explains it, he was answering that he had an inquiry from constituents and was going to answer the inquiry. The document is susceptible of either reading. In neither instance is there a violation of law. There may be I understand your feelings about this, but at some point, politics is politics. You all have the right. Sometimes we all wish it could be exercised more civilly. I have to say that there seems to be a growing environment here of distrust that
Growing, where you been?
predisposes everyone at the table to be expecting the worst from others and to hear things that way even when they're not intended that way. And it's just very difficult to have a civil conversation sometimes in that regard. But in terms of the legal question, I'm getting beyond my charter here. In terms of the legal question, yes, you have the right, you have the duty to vote with your conscience, to do what you think is best for your constituents, and you should do that. Other members at the table have the right to exercise their powers to try to influence your vote as long as they don't do anything illegal. I heard nothing in that email that I can characterize as illegal or improper.
Are we having a conversation about this? Is this going to be a real conversation? Because if that's the case, the thing that I found objectionable that you voted on was to conduct a criminal investigation. At a motion, there was a motion and second. There was a motion and second to add to the agenda to conduct a criminal, actually, it absolutely was stated. It was stated in the motion. It was clear. Joanne, can you go back and give us a verbatim written statement of what the motion was, and we will publish it on the webpage. It was to conduct a criminal investigation and administrative review of the actions of the chair.
Baron, can you just accept her as an elder coming here?
I'm asking.
And letting her know that she felt intimidated with this, I've never seen Joan stand up. I didn't know she was going to do this. This wasn't staged. This come out of nowhere. And I respect that you felt that way, and I feel bad for you.
Well, hold on for a second.
But can you just accept that from her?
Wait a minute. To bring to the agenda in a public forum to make the suggestion in a motion that something criminal happened or needed to be investigated. That was in the motion. It came out of Jennifer's lips.
I'm talking about right now.
And you all voted on that. So here's the thing. All right, I'm a big boy. I'm a tough guy. I can take anything any of you can dish out. Right. And so here's the thing. If you're going to bring items to the agenda to ask for criminal investigations of members of the board, and you vote on it, then certainly I have a responsibility to my constituents to ask you because they asked me. Your constituents asked me. You asked me the question, why doesn't Dolores ask you? I don't know. You need to go figure that out. But Dolores asked me, how did you vote? And so then I called several board members to try to remember, and when I couldn't, it didn't seem right. It didn't seem consistent. So then I had to call or text Joanne, and Joanne told me how you voted. You did vote for that. You voted to put that on the agenda. So
It's her prerogative.
that's right, and I'm not, that's right, absolutely. It's her prerogative to vote on it. It's my prerogative to ask her why she voted the way she did. There's nothing nefarious here, but because several of you are saying that's not what was voted on, I've asked Joanne to give me a verbatim statement. I will publish it on the Travel webpage in the Travel newspaper, so without any editorials, they'll just have the motion because it is in the motion.
That's what I thought it was too. See if we can even get it put on the table.
Suspend the rules and put something.
Your motion was to suspend the rules to conduct a criminal investigation and administrative.
You used the word criminal.
Well, all right, we're in dispute of that tonight. We'll go back and we'll read it, and if you are wrong, you probably should make a public apology to the membership.
I should hear it.
All right, Bridget, Darcy, Lana, Dan.
Okay, Joni actually called me Thursday morning, up very upset about this, asked me if I had gotten an email, and I told her I didn't. I said I didn't expect that kind of email would come to me because I can't be intimidated. I just couldn't believe that got sent to an elder on our board. And the way I see it is, or in my opinion, what happened last week is Jen was trying to bring it forward an investigation to see if any policies were violated. You're the one that kept pressing the criminal, okay? And regardless, it was going on the agenda. It was a motion to add it to the agenda. It wasn't even a vote taken on the actual investigation. And also, I'd like to say that if there's nothing to hide, what's the big fit about? I would want to clear my name, so I would say investigate all you want.
Nothing wrong.
We're having a conversation. Go forward. Question that you asked me. No. So, you need to hear this. Just listen, I'm going to chance. Go ahead. This affects Dolores because she asked the question, so. Unit 5 is on the line. Who's next?
See, once again, you answered.
Bullying.
We are.
The question.
What do you call this?
I have. Is
What do you
that
call
no
this?
other emails were sent except to Joan, and she's 73, she's
I
an
asked her a
elder.
question. I asked her why she voted that way.
Why would I back to you? Unless, to me, if I had something that somebody said I did, bring it, investigate it, look at all you want. Why would you want to send an elder an email and say, why did you vote that way? If you feel that I need to be investigated, then investigate me. What do you got to worry about? Unless you're covering something up.
Well, so next is Lana.
Correct?
We are adjourned.
Well, I just apologize to you, Joni, and you never called me about this. I never knew that was your concern. I feel that you have to go through that and feel intimidated. Can't say that I've been there. I've been there many times. And I just, I apologize for that, because I think you did in a good, humble way to get some resolve to this. Because whenever you do speak up, that's when it's pretty humble. And I'm sorry for that. And it won't be acceptable.
So, unless we want to create a new law to make that illegal, it is appropriate and not illegal. Denny?
Well, I hate to say this, and the way I'm going to say it, I'll just everybody. It is hard to hold.
It is.
I've voted against you, you and I have been on outside the fence most of the time I've been on. And the political part will always be there. I love what you did tonight, that showed your first step of standing up. Do I wish it on anybody? No. But it's part of being on this board. The political part is where you learn to fight back. And you fight back in the best way you know how. Do I agree with what Nicole has done? No, not. But I also know it's part of politics. I mean, some of them can call some nasty things. I used to chase you around the state when you go around this one. You remember that? And we have many different discussions, but it's a part of it. Whether or not it's right, it's not illegal the way it's set up. And that's the part, and I'm glad you brought it forward, okay? And I'm proud of you for doing it. But we need to get a thicker piece of skin because, and you showed it tonight. If you don't have that thick skin, you're in the wrong business. Because when you vote, whether you are for or against anything, I mean, how many was known as no man on this board? Okay? It doesn't, but you know, some.
Now you're voting to approve attorneys.
You know, that's right. And the idea behind this, you're not going to please everybody every time. When you vote yes, you're you're gonna piss somebody off. You vote no, you're gonna piss somebody off. Both sides will come to you and say, you voted the wrong way. Well, that's fine. You voted your way. They put you in office to vote. Whether you agree with them all the time or they agree with you, it's gonna come around and it's gonna happen. I mean, a lot of us on the board don't agree to things. Nothing wrong with that. All right, not agree. If you vote your conscience, and John made it very straight. You vote it's in your heart or what you believe is right for the tribe. And I'm proud as heck. And I didn't swear, folks. I'm proud as heck for you for standing up and saying something tonight. Now, but it is part of this position. It is part, and sometimes it gets hard. I used to go home at nights and let things bother me. It don't bother me no more. Maybe I can draw that stuff. But you're gonna piss people off being here because you can't vote to please everybody every time. It's gonna happen. So, and I mean, look at the health department and our health division, how much I know they did my feet, but I voted the way I felt, okay? And the idea is, when I had to go see a doctor, I said, no, back of my mind, hey. But, you know, so everybody's professional. Whether you agree or disagree, there are consequences to every vote. But I am proud of you, Joe. I am proud of you. And I'm proud of the board for sticking up for you. I like that too, okay? But there's always going to be disagreements. This is a political body. Whether we agree or disagree, we're all going to be buried in the ground and our spirits are all going to go on. And the thing about it is, we'll all be friends then. Isn't that a shame we have to pass away to be perfectly friends? I got a curtain toe. I'm going home.
So we're going to keep, we have several items for the board still, so we'll just keep
I ain't
going.
going
But
nowhere.
there's at least, I think, 6 more board issues, some different issues. Deb, Catherine,
Honestly, it could be written either way, but I really think it was just your tone in the letter to our elder. And honestly, you know, it may be part of politics, but it doesn't make it right. You know, we as an Indian people, there's always been, you know, there's been so much blurring of the lines between the non-native government that we exist in and who we are as Indian people. And I don't want to see any further erosion of our cultural ways. And I'm sorry, but it looked like there was a line that was crossed in the sand with our elder. And I don't believe that if we sat back and allowed it to happen or not say anything, there wouldn't be any returning from that. And the easiest thing right now would be for you to apologize to her.
it's not going to happen. I'm not going to be bullied into it. We're talking about shaming people and not doing that. Tonight, that's exactly what we're doing right now. Because I have a right to ask her a question. I didn't threaten her. Her constituents asked me. They're on the line right now, and I'm going to give them the answer.
And I'm sorry, but
I don't think this is I don't believe this is, I don't know. You need to find out why your constituents won't call you and ask you that question. I don't know.
I've been told, well, I'm not going to go into that one right now.
So I wonder about the appropriateness of bringing an issue up like this, not going into a closed session. It was designed to create some kind of reaction back and a group response back and a mob approach to create a shameful. Do you condone that people are condemning me now for asking you a question? Was that your intent or desire?
Aaron, question.
I don't see it how any different than what you're claiming right now.
Aaron?
I asked you a question.